light escaping out of a black hole, the spiralling of a double helix, burning a window in, followed by the falling of the dominoes. These are some of the animations you can get on your system, courtesy of Compiz and Linux Mint. We're going to be diving into the settings rather deeply to achieve effects like these and even more. You can have individual windows with their own animations for opening or closing, minimizing and maximizing. We look at the tweaks needed for all of this. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools necessary to do this. The question is, how wild do you want to get? Timestamps and links to further resources can be found below the video. Good luck on your mission. Our guinea pig today is Linux Mint 21.1 Xfce, still in beta at this point in time. We'll begin by going into the settings, and then we want desktop settings, and we'll change the window manager to Compiz. So this is for people that aren't sure how to do this. Everybody else, there's timestamps below if you want to whiz past all this mundane stuff. So we're now running Compiz. You can see configure Compiz. You can access the settings from there, or by typing CCSM into the menu. But right now I'm going to log out and log back in just to freshen the system up after making that change. To activate Compiz on Mate, go to the control center, desktop settings, Windows, and here window manager, and you just choose Compiz. I'm doing this on a virtual machine, so I don't care if I break anything. So be warned, things can break, and we're getting sort of down deep into the weeds a little bit today, so heed the warning. That said, I've had a few goes at this, and I haven't had too many problems as of yet. Now for the video, I'm going to go to the bottom here. I'm going to choose Place Windows. If we look at the menu, you can see the menu sitting down on the panel. But as soon as I take Place Windows, the menu now starts to hover a little bit above it. The only reason I'm using Place Windows is because otherwise everything's going to open up in that top corner. And this just makes it a little bit easier for the video. Here we are with the Compiz Configuration Settings Manager. And there's General, Accessibility, Desktop. And here we are in the Effects category. And there's the animations that are already pre-selected. So let's go in and have a look. We've got tabs across the top. And there's these little arrows, so you can hit this arrow. That's the last tab there. But for the video, I'm actually going to stretch this out, which will become evident shortly why I'm doing that. Now the last tab is Effects Settings. And if you select this box over on the right here, you can see random animations for all events. And by choosing that, each time you open and close stuff now, you're just going to get random effects when they minimize and restore, and see there's different effects starting to happen already. So I normally choose that for my system because I run Compiz. I find that satisfactory. But today we're going to dig down a little bit deeper. And we'll start with the Open Animation category. So there's Open, Close, Minimize and Unminimize, Shade, which I'm not quite sure what that does, the Focus. So let's start with Open. We can see there's already some settings already populated. I'm going to start the text editor. Okay, so there's the document down the bottom. It'll become evident why I've stretched everything out shortly. Well, you can sort of already see, you can see how long this highlighted line is, the line of text. So these are our open effects. So we're in the Open Animation tab. So this only concerns opening applications and menus, that sort of thing. That one does the closing and so on. So if we look here, we see type equals normal, unknown, and so on and so forth. I don't know what most of this gobbledygook is in relation to here, but I do know what normal, menu, and tooltip are. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click this, and then I'm going to triple click in here, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to paste that into the text document. We'll close. I'm going to do it with the other two. Double click, triple click in there. I'll paste that. Close, and I'm going to do the bottom one as well. 1, 2, 3, and paste. And I'm just going to borrow some of this text here is what I'm doing. So let's just copy a bit of this and paste it back up there. Come down a little bit. So type equals normal. Most windows in your menu are normal. Not everything, but most. Here is type menu. So let's paste that in there. We'll get rid of the unknown because that's unknown. And down the bottom is type tooltip. We'll put that up there. And what we want is a space. And then we hold shift, and just above the enter key, if you're holding shift, is that vertical slash or pipe, whatever it's called. And then we want another space. And this is the syntax that we're going to be working with shortly. Now you may want to copy all this stuff down here. So open and then go to close and do the same thing there. However, I'll just demonstrate here. If we delete, delete, and delete, that'll repopulate in a moment. It usually does. So what I'll do, I'll just go back and then we'll come back in, animations, and there it is, it's repopulated. As I mentioned, it's up to you whether you want to copy all this and save it in a text file, but they do appear to repopulate. With one proviso, if we go new and we put something in here, I'll just close that. So we've got our own entry in there now, and if I delete those now, they're not going to repopulate. Even if I come back in, I don't think they'll repopulate because we've got something in there. We've taken control of the system, so to speak. If I delete that one out, they should. Normally they'll just repopulate right there and then, but for whatever reason, I have to go back and come back in, and there they are. So that's that taken care of. What we're going to do is go new. I'm going to copy this syntax down here into the window match. I've missed the P off the end there, so we'll put that in manually. So type equals normal, space, then that vertical pipe, whatever it is, another space, type equals menu, another space, another vertical separator, and then type equals tooltip. So most windows are normal. Menus are menus, so it's not just the main menu. It may affect other menus throughout the system. And tooltip is that pop-up box there, that yellow box with the text in it. So open effect is currently none, so let's just choose, we'll choose something fairly obvious, the magic lamp. And we're going to slow everything down, so I'll make it 1200 milliseconds or 1.2 seconds, just so that you can see the animations working. And then we'll close that. Now it's come up on the bottom and it's normal menu and tooltip. We've got normal menu and tooltip above it, which is going to override us. So what we want to do is click on ours and pump it up to the top with the up button. And now we've got first choice for the normal menu and tooltips. I'll just minimize the document. So if we open the menu now, we get the magic lamp. If I start an application, it opens with that magic lamp animation as well. If I close them, there's the close animations. We haven't done anything there, so they should just close normally if we close them. So this is just open animation. These three actions, normal, menu and tooltip, so you can see the tooltip just below the mouse pointer there. The tooltip can't perform the magic lamp, so you watch if I hover over here, it takes a moment, it just pops up normally. If I hover over here, same thing, it'll just pop up normally. But if we go back into here, let's change this to sidekick and we'll close it. So now the menu will do a sidekick. And if we open an application, it'll do a sidekick as well. And now the tooltips, they will actually do a sidekick. So not all animations work for all actions, basically. So I'm just going to get rid of tooltip out of here, now that I've demonstrated that. So we're just down to type normal and type menu. Now we can actually, instead of specifying the effect, we can actually choose random. Then we close, and down below here are the randoms. So at the moment it'll do all sorts of random stuff. So if we open the menu, there we go, it's done a dream. If we open an application, it might do, there we go, sidekick. So it's just doing random events at the moment. However, I can actually specify up here, let's choose fade. And now when I open a menu or a normal application, it should fade in 1.2 seconds. And the same thing if we open an application, it's just fading. And if I deselect that, it'll just do all sorts of random opening animations. Now the same applies with the close animation. So let's just get type normal. Let's make a new one in here. So the window matches just type normal, so most windows. Let's give it an effect. We'll go for a curved fold, and we'll go for 1200 again. And once again, because it's at the bottom, normal's at the top, that one's going to override us, so we have to push ours up to the top. So now the close animation is going to be a curved fold. So we'll open something, we get some random thing, and now we should get a curved fold. And there we go. So that's only for normal. So it doesn't affect the menu. The menu still opens with whatever's on open animation, and it'll just blink out when we close it. But if we do new again, this time we'll go type menu, we'll put that in there, and let's give it, we'll give it a wave, and we'll give it 1200, and again we'll push that up to the top. I don't think it's going to matter which one of these is at the top, because one's for normal windows and this is for menu. So let's have a look now. So if we open an application and then we close it, we should get a curved fold. And if we open and then close the menu, we should get a wave. So it did a sidekick open, but it should wave out. So they're both working independent of each other. You know, this one's controlling the menu and this one's controlling normal windows for the close animation. And then the same with minimize. So we'll do one for minimize. And we'll just do normal. So obviously the menu doesn't minimize. So we'll just do a normal window. And we'll go for the magic wavy lamp. And we'll go 1200. And see, normal's up there as well. So we need to push ours up above it again. And now this should minimize with a magic wavy lamp, I think. And there we go. Same if we open something up and then I minimize that. There's your magic wavy lamp. But the menu doesn't minimize, it just closes. So it just waves out as we set it. In close, the menu's on wave. So we can also do the same for unminimize. So at the moment it's glide of duration of 300. So if I restore this or unminimize it, it glides, magic wavy minimize, and glides back. Let's change the duration here. Let's make it 3 seconds. And you'll see now it'll take 3 seconds to come back up. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Because the file manager, Thuna in this case, is type normal, it's being controlled right here, type normal. The focus animation, we'll double click it and I'm going to change it to dodge and we'll slow it down a little bit. We'll make it 1500 or 1.5 seconds. And now if we have a couple of applications up, just minimize that one down for the moment. You just see them there, they all dodged each other. So let's just put these up. And when I click on this, see, it comes to the front, they do their little dodge, and now I click on the file manager, they'll dodge, and this comes to the front. So that's what the focus animation's about there. And again, if we go to effects setting, this is where that random, this is where you can have random animations, all events that I showed earlier. You can also here, you can tweak, for example, there's dodge. You know, you can tweak some of the settings for each individual. You know, there's sidekick. You can change number of rotations and springiness and whatever there. We're not going to get into that. That'll be pretty self-evident once you start digging through it. So we're going to go back to open animation and I'll touch a little bit on controlling individual windows rather than a group or a class. So at the moment, our open animation, the normal windows, is random. We'll choose sidekick and it's 1200 milliseconds. And the menu's the same as well. So the menu does a sidekick. And if I open something here, it does a sidekick as well. But if you want to control individual windows, for example, this one here, what we can do, we'll go new. I'll just bring this down where you can see a bit better. Now, window match, we hit the little plus near window match. And here we pick this grab. So at the moment, it's window title, Mugshot. I don't think that's going to work, so we'll back that out. I think we want name, window name. We'll try grab. And now if I click on it, it's called Mugshot. Let's add that. Name equals Mugshot. So let's give it an effect. We'll give it a dream and we'll make it 500. We'll close. And there it is there. So now we've got an individual application, which is Mugshot or About Me. And it's probably also normal. So it's probably going to be controlled by that. Let's just start it first. About Me. So it's doing a sidekick, which is random. So now let's click on it and we'll push that up to the top. So now it's above normal. So it's also normal, but now we've stipulated Mugshot. So let's start it now. It should start with a dream in half a second. So we should get the dream sequence here. There we go. We'll do another one. Bulk rename is a good example. I was playing with this earlier. So we'll just put it down here a little bit. So we've got the bulk renamer. Now this comes up as Thurner. So here's our bulk renamer. Let's go new. And we'll hit the little plus next to the window match. And I think if we go to, is it class? Let's try it, see what we get. See, class is showing as Thurner. So let's get that out. It must be the other one. I think it's type. I think it's a dialogue. So let's grab, and now we'll click on it. Now it's coming up as dialogue. And we'll add that. So we could see type equals dialogue, very similar to what we had up here, type equals normal, etc. So let's give this its own effect. We'll give it horizontal folds. Make it 1200. Okay, and there it is. Their type is dialogue, but it's also normal. I'm pretty sure it'll come up as normal. So it'll probably do a random, which is sidekick of 1200. So we'll start the bulk renamer again, and it'll probably do a sidekick. No, it did not. Okay, so now we'll click on our new entry and we'll pump it up to the top. So we've got Mugshot, and this is specific, well, it's actually dialogue. It's not specifically calling the bulk renamer. So anything else that comes under type dialogue will respond the same way. But let's start the bulk renamer now. And we should get horizontal folds. And there we go. And again, if we start Mugshot or About Me, we should get Dream. And there we go. And if we remove, we'll close those down. If we remove those two now, let's just delete. They'll probably come up just under normal, so we'll get a random, which is kickstart. So let's try starting the renamer now. It's not normal, so it's in a different class or different category. Let's try the About Me. It did a sidekick, so it's like Thurner and most of the other applications. It's a normal, or it's type normal. So as you saw before, we'll bring up the bulk renamer, and if we go to do a new one, there's dodge happening, and we go to grab, or we hit the plus, and then we go, so the window title, I think this will come up as Thurner or bulk renamer. I know that doesn't work. I tried that one before. So we'll change from window title. We'll try window role. We'll go grab. It's got no role, so we'll change it to the window name. I think this one's Thurner. So that's just going to make it do whatever Thurner does. So we'll get rid of that. We'll try class, and we go grab. Class is Thurner. We'll go for the type, and I think it's dialogue again. Dialogue. That's what we used before. Let's just try the bottom one, which is window ID. I just want to bring that out down here somewhere. We'll go grab, and I'll just do it up here. Okay, I tried this before on another system. I was getting a different number than that. But nonetheless, let's run with that and see what happens. So this is using window ID. So instead of type, this will be XID equals that number, I think. Yeah, there it is. XID equals that number. So let's give it a, what have we got? We'll give it a magic lamp of 1500. Close, and we'll push that up to the top. We'll close the bulk, rename it, and we'll restart it and see if we get a magic lamp. No, see, it doesn't like that. So for this one here, you're probably going to have to use dialogue. But anyway, that's how you use this. You go there, and then you go grab window title, so Compiz Settings Manager. That probably won't work. I'll give an example. I think the task manager will give us, if we go grab and we click on the task manager, not window title, I think window name. Let's get rid of that. Go. Click on it. Go grab. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So Xfce 4-task manager. For example, I know just sort of another one is disks. So if I start disks, I happen to know this is called gnome-disks. So again, if we go delete that out, and I go grab and I click on this, there we go, gnome-disks. So you're sort of looking for something like that, depending whether it's the name, the ID, the role, the class, etc. So if I add that now and give this a curved fold of 5 seconds, and I'll click on it and push it up to the top, and now I start disks, we should get a 4-second curved fold. There we go, nice and slow. However, if that's below, it's probably also normal. So let's pump this one up to the top. So now type normals at the top. So if we start disks again now, we'll probably just get random, which is sidekick at 1.2 seconds. There we go. So if you want it to, if you want individual applications to start, close, minimize, maximize, whatever, you're going to have to identify them specifically somehow and put them above, and you're going to have to put them above, for example here, type normal. So now it's normal, gnome-disks is also normal, but you've specifically named it here and put it above another category which could control it as well, if that makes sense. Once you start playing with it yourself, you'll sort of pick it up if you want to go down that path and control individual applications and parts of the system in different ways. And I'll just touch back here where it's random. So we've chosen random. You could actually put the effect that you want in there, but we've just chosen random. and then we've got, these are our randoms down the bottom. You could actually choose more than one. You can have half a dozen or whatever you want to choose there, or all of them. And you'll just get, there's probably not much point doing all of them because that's the same as having none of them and you're just going to get a random event. But yeah, if you want to have, you know, a couple, now when you start a normal window, you'll get either a wave, a glide, or a sidekick. So let's just see. That's a sidekick. That's a glide. And that's a glide too, I think. So that's sort of how it works. I hope that's making sense. So we found that that didn't work. I have had some of them work with their XID number working on them. So you're going to basically have to just go trial and error there, whether it's its name, its type, its class, its role, its XID or whatever. You'll have to figure that out. But hopefully you've got enough idea from what I've shown so far to be able to figure the rest of that out for yourself. Just resize this a little bit so it looks a little bit normal. So that's just the basic animations. Whoops. So that's just the basic animations in there and some of the stuff you can do. There's experimental, animations plus, and animations add-on. Now if you choose animations plus, it'll tell you need this one here. So we're going to choose this first. And we'll just go in and have a bit of a look. So here we are, airplane, beam, burn, domino. There's lots of extra effects in here. And there's parameters that you can set for them and whatever. I'm not going to get into that. Most of that will be sort of fairly self-explanatory. Now if we go back into the animations, see we've got a whole heap more down the bottom here. So with this one that's random, let's take explode for example, and let's open something, a normal window, and it explodes in. And same with close. I think we'll just change the focus from dodge. Just put it back to none. And we'll come back here. So let's try close. The explosion looks pretty good when it closes. There's nothing in there that's, where are we? Let's do the menu. So it's currently on a wave. And we could put it to explode in there and close. And now the menu should explode when it closes. And there we go. It exploded when it opened as well. But that's probably because random, the menu's included with explode. So for example, if we open this up, if I back the menu out of there, so that's just normal Windows now. The menu should just start normally and then it should explode when I close it. So what have we got here? Curved fold. Let's just, this one here. So let's go to random. The beauty of going to random is now you can sort of on the fly just click a couple of these here. Let's have a look at a few. I'll not zoom. We'll do a couple of ones we haven't seen. We'll do the airplane. So I've got a couple selected there for close. For random, which is normal. So normal Windows, which this one is here. This should either burn or explode when I close it. There we go, it burned. So we'll just start and close a few things here. So they're exploding to start. And that one's going out as an aeroplane because we've got aeroplane selected there. And we'll see what the file manager does. That's going to do the same thing. And of course the menu starts normally now, but it explodes when it closes. So even if I just click away over here, that should explode as it closes. So we'll go back So that was these animations add-on. If we go, let's now enable this other one, Animations Plus. Then we go back into Animations, and we've got even more down here now. I think we've got, where is it, Helix. So what are we? We're on the Open Animation, Random for type Normal, and now we've got Helix. So this should do a Helix. There we go. Do another one. There we go, there's that Helix. And they should explode or aeroplane away. Or burn, or whatever they're set to. There we go, burns on close. We'll just have a quick look at a few more. So, dissolve, let's see what we get now. That just sort of fades in. Blinds is interesting. I did this one earlier. They'll burn or explode or whatever as they go out. I'm not going to go through them all, just a few of them. You saw some in the intro of the video. So we'll go back. And again, animations experimental. So let's select that. We'll have a quick look. Black hole, this one's interesting. Let's go and have a look at that. So we go back into the animations. Now there's even more in there. Well, let's just open the window up a little bit bigger. There it is there, black hole. This is a pretty neat effect. There we go. In fact, even the menu. Let's go here. So the menu's included here. So I'm going to change this to black hole. Let's change it to black hole. Close. So now the menu should open with a black hole. It did not. Well, that didn't work. Let's just go to random. We'll go to random and we'll go 1200. Let's see what we get now. So it's on black hole. And there it is, menus included in random. Let's see what we get. There we go. It was probably just going too fast to see before. So it explodes out and it black holes in. Pretty neat effect. As I say, I'm only going for longer durations to facilitate with seeing it on the video. Let's go back. What else have we got? I think we've sort of covered most of the animations. So as you can see, by adding those other modules in, we've got all these extras down here now, from Animations Plus, the add-ons and the experimentals. They all just sort of get piled into here, and you can configure them all separately. And as I showed before, you could have, you could make it just so that disks always explodes or black holes in or something like that. Let's try that. There's black hole. Close. So now gnome-disks should black hole in, the same as the menu is there. There we go. One exploding out as the other one black holes in. And it looks like it's going to fly out in an aeroplane. There you go. Customize animations, courtesy of Compiz on Linux Mint.